The UN just passed a cybercrime resolution, sponsored by Russia and backed by China. It could pave the way for a crackdown on free speech across the entire internet. And America, Europe, and human rights groups are concerned. Welcome back to America Uncovered. I'm Matt Gnezda, filling in today for Chris Chappell. Two of the world's most lovable dictatorships have just scored a big win to stifle dissent. Last month, the United Nations approved a resolution to create an international convention on cybercrime, which sounds great until you find out that the resolution was sponsored by Russia and backed by China. Now you have some questions. The first one, did you know that there's already an international convention on cybercrime? It's called the Budapest Convention. But neither Russia nor China signed the Budapest Convention. Maybe that's because of some pesky provisions like the need to ensure a proper balance between the interests of law enforcement and respect for fundamental human rights. I see how that could get tricky for Russia and China. The Budapest Convention also calls on all countries to enact cybersecurity laws in ways that reaffirm the right of everyone to hold opinions without interference, as well as the right to freedom of expression, including the freedom to seek, receive, and impart information and all kinds of ideas. Yeah, that's not going to work for Russia or China either. So now, Russia is pushing for a new cybercrime convention, one that they get to design, and one that's not constrained by all that nonsense about free speech and human rights. Russia is not alone. Their cybercrime resolution was passed in late December by the UN General Assembly with a vote of 79 to 60. See? Democracy. Specifically, the resolution sets up an expert committee at the UN to, quote-unquote, elaborate a comprehensive international convention on countering the use of information and communications technologies for criminal purposes. But the United States and European Union countries have said that they're opposed to it. They're concerned that this countering the use of information for criminal purposes thing will actually be used as an excuse to crack down on freedom of expression and political opposition. Because in some countries, criticism of the government is a criminal act. Fortunately, not in every country. Anyway, this new cybercrime treaty proposal is not just great for Russia, it's also great for Russia's good friend, China. The Chinese Communist Party is the world leader in internet censorship. They routinely restrict internet searches on politically sensitive topics, and they ban news sites with critical coverage of their regime. That's why the U.S. Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations has spoken out against this new cybercrime treaty proposal. She said there is no consensus among member states on the need or value of drafting a new treaty, and it will only serve to stifle global efforts to combat cybercrime. She also took issue with the fact that the resolution was agreed to before any actual cybersecurity experts were allowed to weigh in. Human Rights Watch also slammed the resolution. They called the list of its sponsors, quote-unquote, a rogues gallery of some of the Earth's most repressive governments. Yes, a rogues gallery, or as I like to call it, a dictatorship ballet. I would pay money to watch that. Now, you might think, should Russia and China really be the ones talking about fighting cybercrime? Earlier this year, the NSA director warned Congress about cybersecurity threats from Russia and China. And Russian hackers are really good. Chinese hackers are too. Which is to say, if Russia and China are so good at committing cybercrime, then naturally they'll also be good at fighting cybercrime, right? It's like the Joker and Harley Quinn teaming up, telling us they'll make Gotham a better place. So, what happens if this dynamic duo gets their cybercrime treaty finalized and passed? It's not clear since it's still in its early stages, but it could create a situation where the free countries use the Budapest Convention to fight cybercrime, and the unfree countries use this Russian one. It will give those countries more power to go after political dissidents. The good news is it will still take some time for Russia to get this thing finalized. In December, the UN only voted to create a committee to start the process of drafting it. And then the committee will meet again in August of 2020 to go over the outline. And substantive work on the new convention won't begin until 2021. God bless bureaucracy. So what do you think about Russia's bid for a brand new convention on cybercrime? Leave your comments below. Once again, I'm Matt Gnezda. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.